Hello and thank you for pressing play on this latest video. I'm Sam, by the way, and today we have part 1 of the Premier 15 season preview. In the run-up to the start of the new season, myself and my Women's Rugby Show colleagues were doing a deep dive into the top teams across the country, figuring out who's done what, who needs what, and who doesn't know what's what. I'll be looking at 2 teams today who've had vastly different summers in terms of recruitment. This is because I'll be previewing one of the new teams to the league, Sale Sharks Women, and also be exploring the fortunes of the experienced heads of Harlequins Women. And start with Sale Sharks. Obviously the team from the Northwest weren't in the league last season, so we can't actually look back at how they did, but they've certainly been busy recruiting their brand new team. Sale haven't been outlandish in their recruitment, bringing in a number of players from local clubs across the community, including Crewe Nantwich, Eccles, and 5 players from Sale 1861 Women, including Georgie Perris-Redding and Amy Wallace. The Sharks have also raided Furwood Waterloo, who lost their tender for the league this season, the most notable of these being experienced Irish international fullback Lauren Delaney, Scottish scrum half Mari Grieve, and Welsh international Lisa Newman, Molly Kelly and Gwendolyn Priest. Sale have also added more Welsh signings in Tellery Wynne-Davis and Mally Queck from RGC. The Northwest side have added 2 internationals further in Scottish duo Nicola Howard and Lucy Winter, as well as a USA international Jess Wooden from Richmond, who also lost their tender. But Sale have made 2 signings who could be standouts for the team, and the first of these is England 7 star Jodie Ounsley. Ounsley is one of a number of the 7 side who have ventured into the Premier 15s this season after the loss of their professional 7s contracts, and Sale has snapped up arguably the most exciting of them. At just 19, Ounsley is certainly one for the future, but she will have a massive impact on Sale this season, using her pace and power brought over from the 7s game into 15s. Ounsley, who is profoundly deaf, has already played in the Premier 15s for Loughborough, so she won't be out of place this season in a Sharks shirt. And of course, the headline acquisition is none other than England legend Katie daley-mclean in a player-coach capacity. Bringing in a fly half with over 500 international points, 100 England caps, Sale have acquired a world superstar to lead them into this season. If daley-mclean can even bring a fraction of the qualities shown over the years in an England shirt, then she'll be successful in the Northwest. But how will the Sharks do this season? I think it's important for Sale to stamp their authority in the Premier 15s, not just for the club, but for the impact of women's rugby across the Northwest. And the success of this will revolve around the performances of internationals in key positions like Grieve and daley-mclean. If the key players succeed, then I can see Sale being almost the best of the rest of the teams in the league. But with a lack of strength and depth in key positions like at fly half, then Sale may struggle unless they recruit some more. However, I do predict them to finish 7th in the league this season. And moving on to Harlequins now, and after a strong few years and a successful last season, lying in 2nd place when the league was cancelled, it's been a quiet summer for the Quins. Quins ended the season with a 68-0 win over Darlington Monan Park, and since then there's been no players through the door, well, none that have been officially announced anyway, and 6 players departing the club, with Jada Franco and Khadija Camera heading back to Italy and France respectively, Lydia Hartridge and Emma Swords leaving the club for work-related reasons, and finally Deb McCormack and Zoe Sainer hanging up their boots. But for the Quins, the biggest news of the summer is a change in the coaching setup. Head coach Gary Street moves to a role in the Harlequins Academy, and his co-head coach Karen Findlay continues as a women's forward coach, alongside a role as Chief Superintendent of the Metropolitan Police. Street and Findlay's replacement is Gerard Mullin, who joins Quins from Loughborough University, where he was head coach of Loughborough Students' men's team for the past 4 seasons. It'll be intriguing to see how Mullin's coaching will get the Quinn stars like Jess Breach and Jade Conkle firing, like there was no change. But if he can replicate the successes of Street and Findlay, then it will be another successful season for the Quins. Despite other teams recruiting well, including Wasps, who we will look at in future episodes, I think Quins will push Saracens hard in both the league and the playoffs. And I predict Quins to finish 1st in the league, but lose to Saracens in the final. So that's it for our first of the Tyrrell's Premier 15s videos. Make sure you tell us your thoughts on my predictions, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Women's Rugby Show, turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next episode, and follow us on social media, and most importantly, tell everyone you know about the Women's Rugby Show. Thank you.